Hello everybody, welcome to Daily Stock Market Technical Update. Today is March 22, 2023. Hope you're having a great day. Starting with MNQ, this is Nasdaq. I told you guys yesterday, if you watched my video, I told you we are very close to this top target, this resistance zone. It was around 1208, 12800, and we're getting a sell-off, all right? So this is as expected, and I also told you guys the one thing which bothers me is divergence on PPO and RSI, so we do need to cool down, okay? So where do we go from here? There is this purple line, okay? There's a lot of support here on this purple line. You can get support. So I think we're going to come back here and then bounce. All right. So also, if I zoom in a bit, let me hide these SMA lines so it's a bit clear for you guys. So you can see it here. So basically, I'm expecting price to kind of bounce between this green buy zone and this top yellow zone. This is a sell zone, okay? So we came very close to this sell zone and now we are selling. So I do think we're gonna sell down a bit. There's also this trend line here, okay? There's this trend line, daily trend line. I think we're gonna find support here and then bounce, all right? That's what I'm hoping in Nasdaq. And again, my price targets, let's go to triple Qs. My price targets are here 322 and 328. There are gaps to fill above. And one also very good thing which happened, which you will see in triple Qs, Nasdaq ETF, we closed this gap here, okay? You can see we created this gap yesterday. We had a gap up. The gap was still there, so I was really very bothered with this gap. But today we closed the gap, so we don't have to worry about any gaps to the downside. All gaps we have are to the upside. Okay. To show you, if I zoom in a bit or zoom out a bit, I can zoom in now. You can see there are gaps here, gaps here. Okay, so two gaps up, nothing to worry at the bottom side. So use all these sell-offs as opportunities to buy. Okay. That's on that. And then let's go to MES chart, which is SPX chart. Although the candle looks really ugly, but I'm not too worried, because probably if MNQ goes a bit down to test this trend line, it's possible we can go down as well here and then find support again here and then bounce. All right, so it's quite possible this can also happen like this, or today could be the last day. But more than likely we could get a little bit more, because I was showing you yesterday that divergence even on SPX, MES chart. You can see price was going higher, PPO was going lower. You can see that we made a new high on a lower momentum, and even RSI was down. Okay, so now it's possible we can come down here. All these are support levels. Okay, so my most likely outcome will be to find support here and then bounce. All right. Also on SPX, also we filled a gap. Okay, this is pie chart. If I go to 1 hour chart, you see we also filled the gap. All right, so there was a gap from yesterday, we filled it as well. So everything is looking good. And on SPY, we don't have a lot of downside left. So if tomorrow we gap down, we open here, you should be looking to buy here, and then we're gonna go higher. All right, so I'm not really worried about this sell-off. A lot of people are saying this candle is really ugly, this and that. But we use this as a buying opportunity, and in April we'll be here. Okay, we'll be here, and that's when we will be selling. We are not going to sell here. All right, this is when you need to sell. All right, now let's go to VIX. VIX was down really bad in the morning, and even after Jerome Powell, he announced 0.25 basis point, VIX was crashing, and then people got concerned about banks and economy. Now it's VIX is pumping, but I think it's all a bear trap. So I'm not too worried about all of these. So again, we were below this 20 zone at one point. We were below this 20 SMA. It was really bullish, and then we are bouncing. So VIX been selling from last couple of days, so it needed to bounce, and I think it's just that cat bounce, and then we're gonna go down. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Dow Jones, again, it's possible it looks like it broke down a bit below this trend line, white trend line, but again, I think use this as a buying opportunity. Okay, even if it drops slightly below, you should be looking to buy. All right, same thing on Russell 2000. Again, in this area, look what happened here, back around in December. Same thing is happening here, very close to the bottom. We're gonna bounce. All right, crude oil was up good in the morning, and then it sold off a bit, but I think there's a good resistance here around 73. So that's my target to hit first, and then a little bit sell off, and then we're gonna go to 82. All right, natural gas, very good. It's just behaving as I expected. It's tomorrow. Yesterday could be the bottom, or if we come down to this previous lows around 2. And also there is also, if I go to monthly chart on natural gas, I want to show you something very quick. There's a lot of support at $2. So if I draw a line like this around $2, let me draw something like this, even slightly below here. Okay, so around 191, $2, there's a lot of support. Okay, this is a monthly chart, so it is possible we could come down there as well. All right, so keep an eye, but these are all good buying opportunities, so you should be looking to buy UNG if you want to hold natural gas for long. Bitcoin selling off. Let's go to futures. What I told you guys yesterday, look what happened. We did this gap fill, and then since then we couldn't even go above it. All right, so it's perfect resistance here. So I think Bitcoin is probably towards the end of this run, and then we're going to go down. But April is a bit bullish, so we could get a little bit more pump. We could even go back into this resistance zone, because I'm expecting SPX to be a bit bullish in April. So it's possible we can get slight more pump, go in this resistance zone, and then dump towards beginning of the summer. All right, so be mindful of that. Ethereum will do the same as whatever Bitcoin is going to do, and dollar still selling off. So this is a contradictory information. Okay, dollar is selling off and all indices are selling off. This doesn't make sense. Okay, it seems to me like a pure bear trap today. Gold was pumping, and again, if I go to weekly chart, I think we're towards the end of the move, so I'll be looking, probably there's a little bit more upside, but yeah, I'll be looking to buy later on in the summer. Okay, nothing to buy right now. Even same thing for silver, a little bit more high. We're gonna go. I don't think we're gonna cross previous highs around 24. We're towards the end of this topping session, and then we're gonna go down. All right. TNX, which are mortgage rates. Mortgage rates were down, so 0.25 basis points still down. Fill this gap which was done yesterday, and there's a gap up and there are many gaps down, so we're going to be looking for a sell-off. All right, gold miners, again, we covered this gap from yesterday. Okay, we had a bullish session, now we're coming down. There are many gaps downside, so I'm not looking to buy gold miners here. I would be looking to buy gold miners on one of these gaps fill ups. Okay, bond is I think it's just chopping around here. Most likely outcome will be going higher with maybe a little bit more downside and then go higher in April, because that's when that's what I'm expecting SPX to do. So just keep an eye on that. And then let's quickly look at all the sectors. So XLE was selling off today. Looks like it wants to now. There was a gap up yesterday, so I think it wants to tomorrow come down and fill this gap fully, and then it's going to bounce. It is also possible, be mindful, there's another gap here. So it is possible it could even come down to fill this gap and then bounce, but this is also a major support here. Utilities were down. It's again on major support. Today is a good time to buy. XLV Healthcare, again on support, very close to support. XLF, just building a base, okay. Very close to the previous support area here. So good time to buy. Also, there's still divergence, okay. So that's a good story. Industrial I already covered. And let's quickly look at tech stocks. Tesla, look at this. It's behaving exactly as I have it here. I didn't even change anything. The green line, if I not turn into the line chart, you can see what's it's doing exactly as I anticipated. So I'm not really worried. So you can see this is my green line here. Okay, if I move this green line here, look at this. Exactly, it's doing same thing. All right, going up, and this is a dip. So if I'm right, and if I put this here, I think today was the last day to buy the dip. So tomorrow onwards, we should be looking at the pump. Okay, so we'll see how it goes. Tomorrow will be real test. Also, if I go to candle chart, it found resistance on this daily trend line, exactly where I thought it would. Selling off. The only thing which bothers me is the gap here. I don't really like this gap. So it is possible we can come down tomorrow to fill this gap fully and then bounce. So if we do that, that will be a really good opportunity to buy Tesla. Okay. Now there are gaps up. Okay, there are gaps around 202. Then there are many gaps above that. Okay, so those are my target for April before the earnings. Let's quickly look at Apple. Apple again, divergence on PPO, divergence on RSI, and now it's selling off. It came very close to my target 163. This is the first gap fill, still did not do it. It's another target here, so use this as a buy the dip opportunity. It is possible it could come all the way down to this trend line. Okay, it is possible it can come down here and then bounce, but keep an eye on that. All right, until these gaps are filled, I'm not going to be going short. Amazon, again, my targets are these gaps. Google, divergence on PPO and RSI. Okay, so it's selling off, but it came. Did it fully fill the gap here? Looks like it filled the gap today. Let's see. Oh wow, look at this. It fully filled the gap and then finding resistance. Okay, this is amazing how Google behaved. Okay, so you can get rid of gaps. So there are no gaps on Google up. You can draw a trend line. You can draw a trend line if you want to trade this. You can see it's making divergence on PPO and RSI. What you can do is you can draw a trend line. Draw a trend line like that. All right, and then whenever we touch this trend line, that's your buying opportunity. Meta is, let's go to daily chart. There are a lot of gaps down. There's a massive gap up, so we'll see what happens. But since we got this breakout, it's just doing its own thing. There was a flag here, we broke out, so it's all good on Meta. Netflix, did we go? Are we getting a back test? Looks like we're getting a second opportunity on this back test. You can see Netflix, we broke out, back tested here, still going down. So it is possible we can back test. Still there's divergence on PPO and RSI. So if I draw a line here, you can see RSI still has divergence, PPO still has divergence, so nothing to worry about. We'll see if we might get a new low, and if we do get that, that will be a really good opportunity to buy at this back test around 285. Microsoft, let's go to daily chart. Let's see if we have divergence. We don't have a divergence on this, but PPO has some divergence. RSI looks okay. There's a couple of gaps up, so those are the targets. Snowflake was up really heavily in the morning, but it sold off. Still this major gap here, that's my target. NVDA was up more than 5% at one point. Now they sold off, so this looks like a really ugly candle. Looks like a rejection candle. So all the bears will be very happy. RSI has slightly any divergence, slight divergence. PPO has a big divergence. So how you can trade, you can draw a trend line. Okay, same thing like we do other trades. You can draw a trend line like this, all right, and then wait for the break of this trend line. Okay, something like that. Wait for the break of this trend line. I don't think we can do this way. Can we do it this way? You can even do this way, but I think this one is a bit better. Or you can go to 1 hour chart on NVIDIA. Go to 1 hour chart. See if you can find some kind of trend line here. Okay, and you can trade like that. You can do like something like this, which has more reactions. Okay, wait for the break of this trend line. Okay, 1 hour chart shows yeah, you can see divergence on PPO and RSI, so it does show momentum is slowing down. AMD, let's quickly zoom in. There are so many gaps down, and this gap is filled. Okay, so this target is also achieved. There's now a massive gap up. I think during earnings we'll have a bad earnings because there's so many gaps to fill towards the downside, so probably we'll start filling these gaps near earnings, but it's possible until April, mid to late April, we'll go and fill this gap up. All right, okay guys, that's it. Please like my video, subscribe, share with your friends and family, and have a good rest of the day. Bye.